Let me fix it. There we go. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me. It's me. It's Draul. Today on stream, I will be playing the most recently released game by Daedalic. Or Daedalic. This game is called The Pillars of the Earth, or more adequately, Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. This game is a adventure game, a point-and-click adventure game, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe. Very pretty. Here is the razor statement, if you will. 12th century England, in a time of poverty and war, a small town begins the construction of a cathedral to claim wealth and safety for its people. In their struggle to survive, lives and destinies intertwine. A game in 3 parts based on Ken Follett's world bestseller, The Pillars of the Earth. It released yesterday. It's listed as an adventure indie casual violent point and click. It's got pretty good reviews so far. It does come with full controller support, Steam achievements, Steam Cloud saves, and Steam trading cards. Good on ya. And the game is $29.99 on Steam, and you can get it also with the DLC for an additional $2.99. Again, developed, published by Daedalic. More information here is based on Ken Follett's world bestseller, The Pillars of the Earth, retells the story of the village of Kingsbridge in a whole new interactive way. Play as Jack, Eliana, and Philip, and change the events of the book through exploration, decisions-making dialogues. This interactive novel is released in 3 books containing 7 chapters each. This season pass includes access to all 3 books, which will be automatically added to your Steam library on the date of release. Currently, we have the first book, From the Ashes. The other 2 books, Sowing the Wind and Eye on the Storm, are available soon. One of the most successful novels of all time, now adapted as a 3-part video game series. Change events from the novel and influenced the fates of its characters, following an epic war, conspiracies, and romance spanning over 30 years. 3 different playable characters, Jack the Outsider, Eliana the Noblewoman, and Philip the Monk. Brings the 12th century to life with over 200 hand-painted backgrounds, fully animated in a unique 2D style, optimized for use with controller and mouse. Orchestral soundtrack by Film Harmonic Orchestra, Prague. Full voiceover in English and German, featuring Glenn McCready as Philip, Naomi Sheldon as Eliana, and Cody Malko and Alex Jordan as the young and adult Jack, with special appearance by Ken Follett as the voice of the Cantor. The game has won several awards. Let's go ahead and start the game up there. Don't you know? Play. No idea if it's going to be extremely loud or deafening when it starts. If it is, I apologize. I will also have to adjust. Wait, there I can alt-tab already. Volume mixer, it is already definitely too loud. Most definitely. We'll drop it to 40%. Okay. Now I hope there is PC options. I need to be able to play it in windowed mode, and I need to have a windowed mode. So if we don't have those things, we'll have a problem. There's also advertisements for other Daedalic games within the game itself. There we go. Full screen resolution. 10 has go back. Okay, I guess I gotta crash the game. Well, that's good. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's get the game captured first. We did it. We did it. Oh, no, no, everything's moving. Okay. Transition. I am gonna have to restart the game, but there you go. You see, wow. Okay, it's what it's doing something wonky there. I don't know what you're doing there, game, but let's not do that anymore. Okay. Okay. Let's try to relaunch the game. This is off to a wonderful start here with the many various bugs of the resolution changing. Oh, we gotta fix it. We gotta fix it, don't you know? There we go. Here we go. Wait. Is that? What the crap, man? Alrighty. We gotta work at. Up. Alrighty. We're gonna start getting Follett's The Pillars of the Earth, and I hope I'm saying that person's name right, otherwise I'll feel like a complete asshat. Alrighty then. Got a notification on Twitter, so we're gonna like and retweet this. Here we go. Alrighty then. And you know, I'm Draul Fox here. I'm the founder of the Drastic Measure, and one of the 3 co-owners. Yes, I said 3. We added the 3rd and final co-owner this year. But the other 2 co-owners will be Lalinia and Darkchild. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you the real names out loud because that just ain't right. You know, it's like a breach of privacy and all that. But we're going to continue playing the video games. We're going to start now. Let's do it. Let's play the game. Do you want to play the tutorial? Yep. No, I hate tutorials, but might as well. And anytime we're playing, I might go mute. That is because I'm going to also be gouging my face with mint Oreo cookies while I stream. So if you're watching and I go mute for an exceptionally long time, you might want to speak up, because I might be talking the whole time and sounding like an asshat. Well, not sounding because you can't hear me, but look like one. Well, you can't really look like one if you can't see me, but you get the point.
This should do. How do you feel?
Oh, can't complain. After all, there's a cozy tree in my back.
I promise, this will be the last fire. After tonight, it won't be trees anymore, but walls and a roof. In Shiring, I will find a job.
What if the bishop wants to hire you for life? To keep his palace in shape? Maybe strengthen the town's defenses? Plain things, Tom Builder. Just walls and roofs.
There. Took me a lifetime to find some dry ones in this wet. Why didn't we just use your staff? That old thing would have done nicely.
Because that thing is precious. It's not made to burn. And we might be able to sell it. Right, now let's see if this does the trick. Yeah, should be dry enough.
I told you.
Martha, you want to cut up some turnips? We'll be making soup.
If it helps.
Alfred, you go and look for water.
We could just eat snow.
No, it'll be proper water for my family. You sit, I'll take care of it.
You still haven't answered my question, Tom Builder. What if the bishop offered you a job like they did in Exeter? Something that is beneath your craft, but pays for a lifetime. Easy work.
Well, building something is never easy.
You know what I mean. After Exeter, you said I could create something that matters, something that stands for eternity, or I could die setting up houses and sheds. But what if houses and sheds would feed your family? Would you stay this time, or would you keep on looking?
I'd be glad to stay.
Would you now? Just promise me you'll think about it.
Maybe we can sell the baby.
Alfred!
I'm joking. Don't listen to me.
Can you see the sun yet?
No, but Martha...
Don't distract me. I'm working.
Stupid snow. Why did it have to come down just now?
Should never have left.
Well, we're here now. Guess there's no use complaining.
Too hard for my fist, but my pot should break it. Houses and sheds. Walls and roofs. I'd be glad. I should be glad.
What's keeping you?
Beautiful.
And did you think about what I asked you?
Dreaming of building a cathedral was foolish. When we get to Shiring, I'll take the job.
Why is a cathedral so special?
Well, you've seen a few. You should know.
Yes, but there are so many already. Why do you have to build another one? Is it because God needs more houses?
May I?
If you must.
Well. Actually, a cathedral isn't so different from any other house. It always starts simple, with some walls.
And on top of that, you put a roof.
Very good. A roof to keep off the rain, and walls to keep up the roof. Together that makes one big, long, but dark room. Like a cave. Now, we mustn't forget the doors. And not only doors, but a big and impressive one to let in as many people as possible.
But isn't it still dark in there?
It is. So, what do you suggest?
Windows, of course.
Right. So the people inside can see what they're doing. By now, we've carved quite a few holes in our cathedral. Unfortunately, not every building can carry a roof like that, and have so many windows.
So what do we do?
Good and solid work. That's what we do. If we don't want our cave to collapse, we have to make everything perfect. Not only strong, but consistent and perfectly even. The walls, the roof, the windows, everything perfectly proportioned.
You shouldn't say big words like proportioned when talking to a child.
What does it mean?
It means beauty. Well,
Alrighty.
well,
I am done.
it means not only will it keep them dry, it will give her
Pretty.
like this.
Mama?
Slightly less pretty. That's not water breaking.
The baby is coming.
But it's not G. Have your waters broken yet?
Soon after we started walking this morning.
You should have told me.
I'm so tired. I don't believe I can bring it into the world.
But look at all the blood.
This ain't gonna start out that well. I'm beginning a very Game of Thrones vibe from this.
Children? Martha? Collect some reeds and make me 2 lengths of string, each big enough for a necklace.
What for?
You'll see.
What about me?
Get more water. Take snow if you must and make it warm.
Right.
Remember when Martha was born? And the Lady Isabella acted as midwife.
You were building a chapel, and you asked her to send her maid to fetch the midwife from the village.
Yeah, and she said, that drunken old witch will let her deliver a litter of wolfhound pups. And she took us to our own chamber. And poor Lord Robert could not go to bed until Martha was born.
Can you hear me, Crims? You'll know if it's me. If you can hear me.
I'd say for a
Test,
year
test,
as bad
test.
as this one,
Can you hear me?
we managed
Test.
quite well.
You lost your work, and then Martha almost got killed by that
Was it me?
thief.
No.
You call that well?
I know. But we're still here for each other, aren't we? Holding together as a family. Us builders aren't carved out of measly wood. Never were.
Expect a lump of granite to come falling from my legs?
Alright,
I
I'll
wouldn't be
fix it.
surprised.
Alright, let me adjust my volume. Adjust a little more, because the music is kind of loud. Actually, there is no way to pause it. Okay,
Let me cover you.
I'll have to get through this scene first.
The water's warm now.
Put it next to me.
Got the reeds yet? Hey, Josk. Let's see. Got the metal pot.
Alfred. Go and collect more wood. Let's have a bigger fire.
More wood?
Do what your father tells you.
Yes, Mother.
Alright. Have to do this.
I'm here with you.
I know.
I put more wood on the fire.
Can you feel the warmth?
Yes. It's not long now. Be ready.
Alfred. Take care of your little sister.
She's all right. She's busy. Let me help too.
Alright. No other
Let
options
me
left
do
here.
something.
There's nothing else that we can do. Doesn't look like.
Right, what can I do to help?
Stay with me.
Will she die? She'll die, right?
Stupid boy.
It's coming. Help me, Tom. It's coming.
I can see it.
Well,
Horrible.
He's perfect. A perfect boy.
is Mama gonna live? That's a lot of blood.
You're still bleeding.
It's all right. It will stop soon. Tom,
Yes?
You make a fine midwife.
Huh.
Did you know that?
Good midwife achievement unlocked.
Do you remember the
funny.
night I came to you? In your lodge? When you were working on my father's church?
Of course. How could I ever forget?
I never regretted giving myself to you. Never. For one moment. Every time I think of that night, I feel so glad.
Me too.
Of course you do. You got laid. Take a
I hope
screenshot.
you build your
That's pretty
cathedral.
I mean,
I thought you were against it.
blood everywhere.
I was,
Little girl.
but I was wrong. You
Newborn
deserve
baby.
something beautiful. Build a beautiful cathedral. For me.
Waiting for the White Walkers to show up and to eat the family and take the kids. Winter is coming.
Papa, what's wrong with her
8
face?
seasons later, winter is here.
Agnes!
She did.
Agnes, wake up!
Blah. She died. Blah. Blah. She died. Oh, that's actually kind of messed up. It's really sad. Wow. That's really, really... The music playing, the little kid hum, that's... Wow. Daedalic Entertainment and that word, present. Whoa, okay. Hold on. I wasn't prepared. This is the song that should be playing. Oh wait, that's not it. Damn it. No. No. There we go. It fits so good. Pillars of the Earth from the Ashes Prologue. What you did. You want your cathedral to bring hope. You told Agnes you would accept any job offered by the bishop. You did your best to support Agnes during childbirth. You found information about Tom's past. So is it just going to do it for every episode that we play? Not just each, like, okay. Chapter 1, Song of Ice and Fire. Philippe.
The year of our Lord 1135 had come to an end. King Henry of England, son of William the Conqueror, had died. son of William the Conqueror had died. It was a time of poverty and death. In their despair, some had come to believe Christ and all his saints had gone to sleep, and that the pillars of the earth themselves had begun to crumble. Brother Paul? Hello!
You just crossed the bridge, right? That'll be a farthing for you and a penny for your horse.
How dare you ask a toll from a monk? Do you know who I am, brother?
The monk from the woods. Brother Paul said you'd be coming by. He said you'd bring cheese. It's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
It is not much, but I can share this with you.
Alright. The cheese. Oh, hail the bringer of cheese. The cloth still smells a bit of the cheese that was wrapped in it. He ate that whole circle of cheese like real quick.
Fulfill your duties.
He did chew it, I hope.
Oh, I'm sure I
Otherwise, that's
will.
going to be one hell of a constipation.
Will you take care of my horse, brother? I have come to see Prior James.
Prior James? That's him the bells are tolling for. Leave the horse here. I'll get it down to the priory later. The fish should go nicely with that cheese.
What? Why are they ringing the bells?
Don't you know? The devil has come to Kingsbridge.
I know. I have arrived.
The devil has come to Kingsbridge.
You can use Philip's Bible on objects to find out what the Bible tells about them, or use it on people to discuss matters of faith. Alright, let's go to the options real quick. Terp. Game interface, show, back, audio. Let's turn music down some, thing volume. Controls. I was hoping there'd be subtitles. It's under language. Okay. Hey, Boxcat. What up, brother? Okay. Petting the horse.
Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast.
We're going to check this building. Okay. So, over by the river.
The cloth is useless at this point.
Okay. So nothing. We can. I guess we can come back over here. We can go into the woods, I guess. Found some beech nuts. don't see too much else here. Just more limestone. I got some nuts though. I got some nuts, y'all. I'll share my nuts with you guys. Here. Let's put my nuts in his mouth. Oh, I could put my nuts in his mouth. Oh well. He didn't want to eat my nuts, bastard.
I think I'll keep them.
Okay. So you're gonna be greedy then. Path to the mill, road into Kingsbridge, path to the mill. Let's see where the path to the mill takes us. Obviously it's supposed to take us to the mill. Tree. Can't do nothing with the sheep.
Why is this locked? Locked? That would be a waste. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so.
So they start you off with a character that's very heavy in religious themes. Path to the cloister? What's cloister?
When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. The moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth as the fig tree shakes its twigs.
The game is very pretty.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the pestilence that walketh in darkness. The pestilence that rode in on the lightning that struck our cathedral 4 years ago. Did you not all feel its presence here ever since? James did, and I did as well. But the Lord says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Our beloved Prior James has served the Lord all his life. He shall be delivered from the darkness, from this dark earth.
Prior James?
Philip.
Francis?
For many years, James has been our prior. After the upcoming election, I vow to lead Kingsbridge Priory with the same steady hand.
Is it like some rule in that time period or something where they have to shave the top of their heads? I don't understand why every one of them has the top of their head shaved off. You see that in a lot of... It's something I never knew.
I did not expect
So if there's a reason behind it,
I was on my way back to Gloucester
tell me.
and wanted to see you.
Because otherwise it's like...
Priest working in the world of politics.
Is it so they
Must tell
put
us
their
about
hat
it,
on
Francis.
easier?
Of course.
Like I can't remember what it's called. You know the soft cap
It's
thing.
been 4 years, but
Because it kind of is like the perfect fit for that spot on all of their heads.
How are things in St. John of the Forest, Philip?
Better than here in our mother house, Kingsbridge, it seems. I wanted to use my New Year's visit to talk to Prior James about this.
James did the best he could, Philip. If you had been here, you'd have known that.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
No, you're right, Philip. With a limp hand on the tiller, a ship is blown about at hazard and goes nowhere.
James
What?
meant well.
With a limp hand on the...
Of course he did. Please, forgive me.
Come by the kitchen later to see us, will you?
So this game so far is a good
Brother
mix
Cuthbert
of
seemed
new
upset.
adventure games and old point-and-click
we all
adventure
are.
games.
The way James
I'm
died
worried
was
right now
disturbing.
that there's going to be too much optional area that you're going to miss.
Is that why the novices talk about the dead?
So the reason
Prior
that the top of
James
their head
began
is
mentioning it
shaved
first.
is called tonsure,
7 days ago.
and this
Brother
deliberate practice
Demetrius
meant
found
to show
James's room
humility
empty.
and or religious
We all
devotion.
looked for him for hours.
Interesting.
Then we found his footprints by the bridge and a hole in the ice. Oh no.
No.
In the small hours of Christmas Day, he must have walked out on the river. We didn't even find his body. The river took him, and the cold.
So he was murdered.
I will pray for James. See me when you have time, Philip. I will be in the cathedral.
And I should go and see how Brother Cuthbert is doing.
All the
It's good to
friars,
see you, Philip.
priests, or whatever, they all
Maybe
seem
things
very
will get
stuck
better
up.
after the chapter elects the new prior.
Hey, babe.
Hopefully. I will come by the kitchen later, yes.
Huh. What is Francis doing here, and where is he?
So what do you think it means? I don't know.
You look like you want to ask me something.
You are Philip of Gwynedd?
Yes, but you can call me Brother Philip.
You see? Told you he wouldn't mind. Yes. Now ask him. How about you ask him? I already asked Brother Andrew. That doesn't count. He wouldn't answer.
If you promise to lower your voices from now on.
Oh, of course. We promise. Brother Milius told us you know the scripture
You
very
promise,
well.
and then he immediately goes back
Could
to
you
being loud.
tell us about God's temple? Brother Andrew wouldn't tell us. Must be a place. Cathedral. That's probably what the guest master was talking about. If you do something to a cathedral, it would be a sin. Yes.
Each of us is God's temple in the way that he created us.
And what if someone does something to God's temple?
The scripture says, if anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him.
Even if he destroys his own temple of God?
I like to get away
so for
from
Prior
the
James, there's no salvation as well.
religious stuff. I hope that the other characters aren't nearly this religious heavy. Like, I know that the opening was about a guy. I don't know how you guys feel about it. There's no salvation for a self-murderer. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say this one.
Prior James did not commit suicide.
No one saw him that night. No one knows.
God
Reek
knows.
did it.
God knows what sent him running out onto the ice.
They say the devil was chasing him. Don't say his name.
I have seen brave men run for many reasons.
Voice acting is really good. The graphics
Never
are really well.
have I seen the devil.
Hurt.
So we should not
Whatever.
make room for him, neither here nor
I don't know
in
what
our
nerd
hearts.
is.
All right. Yes, Brother Philip. Thank you, Brother Philip.
Was my last message about the defense scene? The last message I had from you was, I think so.
I believe they have enough to...
Okay.
So, again, we're all God's temple. All of us. Because God created us in His image.
I'm creeping.
That's why we can all pray to Him.
I'm creeping.
We don't need to go to church for that.
No, technically,
No, we are the temple.
technically you don't have to go to a
Why
building
church
and
then?
deal with other people.
Why cathedral? Why do we create temples if we are the temple? Isn't it almost arrogant to try and build a greater temple? Don't say that.
Depending on what time it is, she might be working, actually. Yeah, she'll be working. Well, actually, she might be up. Because it comes out at midnight tomorrow night. Anyone that is awake that wants to watch The Defenders with us tomorrow is welcome to join. So we're going to do a Netflix community night. We're going to be doing them often. We're going to binge watch the shit out of The Defenders, though.
Francis, you look troubled.
You could always read me.
Like a book, little brother.
It's good to see you, Philip. King Henry is dead.
I know. Word reached St. John's shortly before I left.
First the king, and now Prior James.
The devil has come to Kingsbridge.
What?
Just something I heard. Something foolish.
And yet, these are dark times indeed.
It's like,
King
it's
Henry's
11:30
death caused
now.
quite a
Normally you're
commotion
home
in the world of politics.
before midnight, but...
There will be war.
Francis notes Rivalry for the Throne, Part 1. Inspect. Well, right now it's still Wednesday. It's 30 minutes till midnight, Wednesday, midnight going into Thursday. We will be watching the show tomorrow night at midnight going into Friday. Francis notes about the king, the late King Henry, Empress Maud, and King Stephen. Part 1 dated 1st of January 1136. For many years our late King Henry had been without an heir. His only legitimate son, well as several other relatives, had drowned while crossing the English Channel one night in 1120. Finally his daughter Maud gave birth to a boy. It was Henry's last wish that his infant grandson would continue his reign as Henry II, once the boy came of age, and until that day his mother, the daughter of the king, would rule in his place. Despite being the rightful heir to the throne, Empress Maud is viewed unfavorably by most of our Norman overlords. The reason is Maud's marriage to Geoffrey of the county, is that Anjou or Anjou, and the Duchy of Normandy have been rivals for a long time. A rivalry that now is about to become a war, taking place right here in England, where Maud's cousin Stephen of Blow has now crossed the channel from Normandy and taken the throne by force.
get involved in these worldly matters.
You always get involved. Philip, you're right to complain about the state of Kingsbridge.
Francis, I wouldn't even know how to help.
I was sent to look for a messenger of my lord, Earl Robert. Farmers said the messenger was heading for Kingsbridge 2 weeks ago. The knight was carrying a confidential document that might change the course of the conflict.
Yeah, Crims.
People here trust you. Maybe the monks here know something?
The course of the conflict? You mean we get to decide who dies? I will ask around. But if you weren't my brother, I wouldn't get involved.
One more thing. No one can know why we're looking for the money.
Who knows something about Francis' missing knight?
The cathedra, it is...
Wow, it's very
This
pretty.
priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest.
So we're opening the map. So we're at the, I guess, here. Talking about is he getting the plague? Just a bad smell. Guess we're going to the kitchen.
Philip!
Brother Milius.
Yes, I do.
Come! Warm yourself by the oven.
Is that Philip? Tell him to warm himself by the oven.
Thank you, Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, wonderful.
I always put some extra stones on the stove to warm up water. Put one in your pocket and you'll keep warm.
I have to do this. I have to do this for the until I'm done playing. The music so far has been really good for this game, but it doesn't have the same. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I forget how to make a new playlist. Let's go to your music. New playlist. Okay. And then we're going to go back. We're going to choose add to playlist. And it's going to pick which one. There we go. Right, now we can go to that playlist. gonna play this song on loop over and over again. There we go. Sorry.
Oh? Ouch. Careful.
So it wants us to grab a hot stove.
Ouch. Don't do that, you'll burn your fingers off.
I'll help you, Box. Well, they're plotting to kill me.
Nice and warm, and I didn't burn my hands, Milius.
I knew you could do it.
So proud of himself.
Milius, why do you keep a beautiful pot like this around?
Oh, it reminds me that we should strive for order and beauty. I started collecting some seeds and nuts because I wanted to start a new garden.
A good idea.
I never got around to collecting more, though. If you find some, let me know.
I found some beech nuts.
I'm gonna give this dude my nuts.
We will grow a beech tree then.
Wonderful.
Put my nuts in your box.
If we ever get round to starting a garden.
I'm sure you will. Did you see a knight in Kingsbridge?
You mean, aside from the nobles attending the Christmas service? No, I don't remember any knights visiting us.
Has there been a knight to Kingsbridge recently?
Milius, wasn't there a poor soul found dead before Christmas?
I don't know if he was a knight.
He was put to rest in the cemetery.
The cemetery. That was the right thing to do. Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, we were waiting for you.
Alrighty.
I hope you brought some of that wonderful cheese you make at St. John's.
I gave it to one of your novices.
Why would you do that?
He said it's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
Greedy brother Marcus.
You are too trusting, Philip.
Dude basically jacked me for my teas.
I'm sorry for how I talked to you about the Priory earlier. It's just that at St. John's we worked hard to become self-sufficient. We have given so much to Kingsbridge, our mother house. And the Priory here is in a horrible state.
I think we're gonna finish the first chapter
Don't you think I know that?
of episode 1.
We should be rich.
It depends
The
on how
Priory has
long
much
the others
land
are, and we'll go from
and
there.
collects from many parish churches. But we are in debt.
I have a feeling this is gonna be a
Our
very
novices
long
steal
game.
from us.
Has there been a...
I don't.
Let us continue.
Of course.
Let's see, anything else in this building we can access? Not really.
Hard at work as usual, Milius?
I have to serve salt fish 6 times a week now.
fresh fish every day at your cell in the forest.
Every other day we even have poultry.
Really, that's it? Or is he going to complain more?
You have done wonderful work at St. John's, Philip. We, on the other hand,
to it,
had a weak
jeez.
prior for 13 years. May the Lord rest his soul. What you worked hard for at St. John's is wasted here in the mother house.
After the election, the new prior ought to put things right.
Remigius, put things right.
It seems even friars are gossips. And again, in some of the stuff, they're the people who sell information and shit.
You wouldn't vote for Remigius. He would be no better than Prior James.
He is the sub-prior, and he made promises to some of the brothers, like the sacrist. He's about to burn all the books and documents in the prior's room, including the priory's ledgers.
Remigius says James asked for everything to be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
What? Without the ledgers, the priory's finances will be beyond saving. Was no one else nominated?
Only Cuthbert.
I refuse. I'm too old.
You know, I'm not interested in
No one
Philip
else dares to
at
follow
all.
in Prior James's footsteps.
I was really interested in that character they start you out as, in the prologue, but
Not
like
since
this
he began
character, I'm just not
talking to
into
the
him.
devil.
It's not that the dialogue is bad.
What?
I'm just not interested in
One
this
day
guy.
he started talking
I don't
to
care
the
what
devil,
happens to him.
as if they were standing side
I don't
by
really
side.
care what's happening to the people around him. Where I really cared about that guy and his family at the beginning, it made it feel important. Where all this is just, it just feels like he said
He was bargaining
nonsense.
with the devil for his soul, whispering about his sins.
His sins?
Yeah, and I have to sit here and wait for him to salt the fish
We'll
every
talk
time
more
before he
later.
talks again.
You keep everything nice and tidy around here, Milius.
It's not easy. This morning one of my ladles broke. That's never a good sign. Everything is falling apart.
Let's go talk to the other two about the night, maybe. See if they're still there.
Why not? We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the cathedral.
Brothers, have you two heard about a knight visiting Kingsbridge?
The Earl of Shiring was here, and some of his knights. And many other nobles at Christmas.
It would have been a lone rider, a messenger.
I don't think so. If someone
Rider
had
of
come
the
to Kingsbridge, Brother
Apocalypse.
Paul would have seen him.
One of the four horsemen.
Brother Paul went back out to his toll house.
I see. Thank you.
It feeds us. We are people.
Farted. Did you fart? Is that where I was at? Yeah, it is. the cemetery. Can I hit M and open the map? So I'm here. I need to go back to the mill, go to the fucking hell. It's a maze. Walk faster. Call me when you get, or call me on Skype when you get home, babe. Brother, why can't I hear anything? There's no sound coming out of the game. That's a bug and a half. What the fuck? So all the game sound just stopped working all together. It got muted. I never muted it. The letter M, it mutes the game.
My father gave the priory a good deal of land to keep me fed. I won't eat salted fish all day.
Me neither. Yes, Brother Marcus. You still have old Cuthbert's keys?
Indeed I do. I hid them right in the church. Stuffed them in the large crack in the wall.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
I bet you could.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
The knight doesn't seem to be around here.
I asked not to be disturbed.
It just looks evil.
Brother Remigius, I'm sorry I interrupted your service.
You mean Prior James's service?
Quite so. I heard he fell through the ice. Horrible.
Yes. I was the one who found his rosary by the river. Now let me continue my work.
Why would Prior James walk out onto the river at night?
He was chased.
Chased? By whom?
The accuser.
But why would the devil be chasing him?
Better to not get involved in all this. Hmm? Don't you have your own priory cell to run?
Okay then.
Did a knight come to Kingsbridge within the last few weeks?
Of course. Even the bishop and the earl were here for the Christmas service. I held the sermon.
And the week before?
That week I was not here.
Of course you weren't.
Andrew Sacrist and I travelled to Shiring to hire cooks and buy food for our guests.
I see.
Conveniently, he wasn't here.
You really believe the devil killed the prior?
Some of the brothers do, and I respect their beliefs. We may never know what happened, and that's that. Now let me get back to my work.
Brother Marcus stole Cuthbert's keys.
Brother Marcus. I will deal with him. You were right to report this to me. Theft is something we cannot take lightly.
Aye, now he's gonna come after you next if you keep asking questions.
Good feeling we're at one point we're gonna have to get him out of his office to get something in his room.
Yes. We must take good care of us. And our cathedral. We must.
Why not? Got an achievement, let there be darkness for doing that.
I know you think we shouldn't, but we have to find Earl Robert.
I shouldn't get others involved before I've found the keys. Maybe they aren't there after all.
The novice said he hid the keys in here. They're here. I have them. No, I'll stay down here. I'm not good with heights.
Locked.
Of course they are.
Let's see what we can find.
Looks like there's a person
No
there.
reason to be afraid.
Nothing. These old cathedrals are bound to make strange sounds.
You scared of the dark?
Thought so. Nothing here. Even if it is a doll. Hello?
He's hearing shite. Chains moving.
No. No one. Not a thing. Hello?
What is that?
Go!
What the hell?
What is that? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is... What is that? Hello? Oh! Oh. An owl. Just an owl. I will contemplate this later. The saint rests in peace. God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep.
Oh. So it doesn't look like there's anything else in here. No doors to go in. Got scared by a bird. Can't do anything with the bird. So it looks like we leave.
Philip, have you...
Not yet.
Was there anything this way? You won't go upstairs. He's a sissy.
That would only...
Okay. Actually, so I think I can go to the stable or whatever it was now, the mill, and look there with the keys. Carved into the wood. Words carved into the wood in the old mill found in January 1136. 1136. Brothers, I have to leave. I have not found God to be here with you. The cane of sub-prior regiment shall never hit my back again. Never again. Maybe I shall find God elsewhere. Thomas, 1134. don't see anything else anywhere. So I think I was just supposed to find that message. I need to go see if the person is by the bridge. Brother Paul.
Brother Paul?
Philip. Ah, ouch. Oh.
Have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
A knight? Oh, yeah. Yes. He was just lying by the road, just a mile away from the priory.
And I'm being so quiet
He must
because
have
I'm
fallen from his
letting the
horse.
dialogue
Where
do
is
its
he
stuff
now?
For the most part.
He died. We buried him in the cemetery.
Did he have a name? Did he say anything?
He could not speak. But the look in his eyes told me he was afraid. I held his hand and prayed with him while he died.
Did the knight have anything with him?
There was a letter. I gave it to Prior James. Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. James insisted that all his books and documents shall be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
I heard about this. I think that would be unwise.
Sometimes I wonder if it was because of that letter. A few days later, Prior James fell through the ice. Right here. Philip, maybe I brought a curse on Kingsbridge.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Have faith in the Lord, Brother Paul. You did well.
Thank you, Philip.
I'm not done with him yet.
Brother Paul, what's wrong with your...
Oh, just a chill.
You should have...
It's all...
Don't take it... No, the...
Don't say it if he thinks...
Okay. I'm gonna give him the stone.
Here, Paul.
Oh, a hot stone. Ah.
Huh.
It's a mercy, Philip. Thank...
Remigius should give you a fire, or not have you sit here at all.
I don't really mind. Winter... Philip, if you ever run into trouble with me, careful to answer him. Do not stay silent. Nothing makes him angrier than he becomes weak and defensive.
Alrighty.
I have to leave.
Take... It's get...
So I got some nice information. Let's go into town, see if we can get anything from town. I don't know how big this place is going to be. I hope it's not going to be too crazy.
Hello? I'm sure there was someone moving behind a window, but most houses are empty.
Really?
The monks of Kingsbridge and their servants, I wonder which of them led a more pious life.
So it's pretty much useless. this way. What?
I know you think, but we have to find a...
The letter is probably in the but the sub-prior is going to burn.
What? We cannot allow that to...
Of course not.
Okay.
Philip.
Not yet.
So you won't go to the staircase. So frustrating.
What we have to ask ourselves is, can our Saint Adolphus still protect Kingsbridge in these dark times?
He couldn't protect Prior James. Ever since that lightning struck the cathedral, he wasn't the same.
When you take over my position as sacrist, you should implore the bishop to send us a new relic. By then I'll be sub-prior. The new prior and I will support you in this.
All Kingsbridge needs is faith and hard work.
Philip of Gwynedd, I wanted to talk to you. How dare you disturb Brother Remigius' requiem?
I'm afraid the choir is waiting for me.
Stay, brother. There's no reason you
So the
shouldn't
guy
hear
that
what
made-
Philip
that-
has
that
to
wrote
say
the
for
book
himself.
that this game is based on, he's the voice actor for Cantor, the guy right there.
I was shocked by the prior's death.
We all were. Now, I'm sure at St. John's you're a good prior, but here we adhere to the rules.
Since when everyone else is breaking them.
I'm looking for a document that was in the possession of Prior James.
How does that relate to my tasks? Talk to Remigius.
You mentioned a new prior.
The election will be held in a few days, when we all convene for the chapter meeting.
We get a run for prior.
Let us continue this conversation later.
Of course. There's a lot of planning for me to do for the upcoming election.
Damn it, I keep clicking off screen. I just noticed something too. Vote for Philip, making priors great again. There's one of the buildings I need to go to. I don't remember how to get there.
What is it? Can you not see that I'm working?
About the keys that would...
I will deal with.
I would like to...
And why is that, Brother Philip?
Well, our little cell has given much to the Mother House. I would like to ensure that all is accounted for.
So you do not trust us, Philip, is that it?
The state of this priory...
The state of this priory is the concern of the Prior of Kingsbridge.
I still would like to see the prior's documents.
They will be burned tonight.
I heard about that.
It was Prior James's last wish. I'm following his request.
But the new prior will be lost without the ledgers and contracts.
After the election, I'll be the new prior.
For now, you are not. Only the chapter meeting can decide on these matters.
Of course. Brother Andrew will surely understand why you would go against James's last request.
Where was Brother Andrew at? Starting to get a headache again. So which one was Brother Andrew?
Rotten. We used now.
Okay.
We heard they have one that would even...
What's that supposed to...
That way I won't go.
Okay. So where was he again? Chapter house.
We can't allow Prior James's books to be burned.
That, Philip, was Prior James's wish.
This priory is in debt. And without the ledgers and documents, that will never change. Besides, the wisdom in his books is priceless.
It is not up to you to make decisions in this priory, Brother Philip.
Do not domineer over those in your charge, but be an example to the flock.
1 Peter chapter 5. You are right. You shall argue your case in front of the brothers in a chapter meeting today.
Thank you, Brother Andrew.
When I'm done here, I will tell all the monks to come to the chapter house.
Would it help if I went and told some of them?
Feel free to do that. But I insist that the choir finishes practicing before we start. They're already behind schedule.
See, now it's starting to get interesting.
There will be a chapter meeting in a few minutes.
Oh yes, we will be there. Thank you for letting us know.
It's getting cold. When will these novices learn to close the door?
There will be a chapter meeting today.
You convinced Andrew? Miracles do happen. We will be there. You have our support.
I hate that every time.
Prior James had a document I would...
It's probably amongst...
Oh no.
He's in the prior's room.
Come on, like...
There will be a chapter meeting today.
Excellent.
Brother Cuthbert?
Do not worry.
Some of the stuff, like... I swear if she's there and he has fish in his hand, and he's salting fish. Okay, I need to go this way. I need to go...
Ah. I have to leave.
I need to, yeah, I want to do that.
There will be a chapter meeting.
Ah, remember?
Okay, so I think I told everyone. Actually, there's a person back here.
Brother Arnaldo. There's a chapter.
Today, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Wouldn't miss... Oh.
About the chapter meeting.
Oh. Talk to Brother Andrew. He will now leave.
I was trying to tell you that there's gonna be one, asshole.
About...
Okay. Actually, I think I need to go to the cathedral.
No. I heard it, I'm sure. There was something. He's right.
Now stop it. Concentrate.
There it was again.
The sacrist agreed to a meeting. That way I might be able to get the letter you were looking for.
Good thinking, Philip. I will attend, of course.
What was that?
The letter is probably in the prior's room, but the sub...
What? We can...
Of course. You seem troubled, brother.
They won't. They won't sing. It's Adolphus. There was nothing, believe me.
I heard him crying in the crypt. I think I heard him too.
No, you are mistaken.
It sounded like a whip, like he was chastising himself. It's the end of days.
Brother Philip, please help me. Prove to them that there is nothing and no one down there.
I've already been down there.
There is no need to worry, brothers. Adolphus is resting in peace. It was just an owl.
I told you it was nothing.
God bless you, Brother Philip.
I knew I heard something.
Now, be silent, concentrate, and...
So what do I do now? Let's save. Okay. So the game bug there. I had to hit escape again to.
The saint rests.
Okay then. Okie dokie.
The choir has finished singing. The cantor should find time now. Are you ready for the If you have any other business to take care of, the meeting could...
Let's do it.
The chapter meeting is more important.
I think this is going to be like the result of the episode. This is where the episode's going to end. It's after this.
And this is why Prior James's wish must not be honoured. Kingsbridge Priory would be beyond saving without financial records.
I think we have all understood the reason for your concern, Brother Philip. But before we come to a decision, let us hear other voices of concern.
I would like to know why you would doubt the wisdom in Prior James's decision.
Maybe you didn't know him as well as we did, Philip. I can say I knew him well. We all here knew him. So did you know him.
I knew him well, and I know he would agree with me.
Philip, you are going too far. I will tell...
Brothers,
now, let him
quiet.
Brothers, let's hear what he has to say.
Let Philip speak. Oh, heavens.
Hear him out, brothers. I was stubborn as well, but he made me see it.
Well, that's not an easy thing to do.
Bilias.
I owe James much. He was the one who asked me to take care of St. John in the Forest.
One of the most prosperous cells in all of Shiring, if not England.
It was a wise decision then. But his last wish was not. Well, was it? What are you waiting for? Answer me.
Is walking on thin ice wise?
Who does he think he is?
May the Lord forgive him. He knows not what he is saying.
No. I have taken offense to Philip's words myself today. Sometimes Brother Philip ought to temper his words, but there is always truth in them.
Yes. Philip asked us a question. Was it wise to walk out onto the ice? God was testing Prior James.
I say the devil chased him. Do you doubt that? Do you doubt that, Philip? Surely you must have an answer. I know because Prior James confided in me.
If the Lord tested James, then he is testing all of us. I trust the Lord, so did James, and so should all of you.
He was misguided when he walked onto the ice that night, as he was misguided in his last wish. Whatever or whoever misguided him.
Maybe it wasn't the devil. We've never seen him.
The novices would be better advised not to speak up.
Philip is a good man. He was the only one to say I should have a fire.
But did he do anything besides talk?
Yes, he brought me a hot stone.
That's our Philip.
Very well, Philip. But why don't you tell us the real reason you have come before us? You not only came to save these books, you have another motivation, do you not? We deserve the truth. What are your true intentions?
My brother is...
Yes, I reminded my brother that Kingsbridge can use help. Look around you. This priory is in a sorry state. Please vote to save the prior's documents from the fire. It's the only way to help this priory.
I say we leave the decision not up to a vote, but to Remigius.
That is against the rules.
Is it? He will be our new prior in a few days. Cuthbert declined, do you not remember?
I remember well. And I say no one in Kingsbridge is better suited for prior than Remigius.
That's what I said.
Well,
unfortunately not.
That's true.
Hear, hear.
I wonder why Cuthbert declined. Surely not.
That said, there is someone not from our priory, someone better suited. I nominate Philip of Gwynedd to be the new prior of Kingsbridge.
Saw that coming. Just straight up.
I knew that.
Well, yes,
why you're here. Excellent choice. No.
What about Remigius?
That's surprising.
Great idea. Philip.
Brother Philip, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you for your kind offer, but we would not want to impose on you, Brother Remigius.
Oh, but I insist. I will help you.
What happened?
No, you really must not. We will see you later. Thank you.
What just happened?
We don't have much time. Evening Mass will begin soon.
Should I not have accepted the nomination?
You've never been good at saying no. And Milius is right. Kingsbridge needs you.
What about St. John's?
I will ride there tomorrow. I will let them know you will be staying in Kingsbridge for a few days. Thanks to you, these documents and books will not be burned. Now, we have to find that letter.
You truly think the letter can help prevent a war?
If the message says what I think it says, then yes, I do.
Francis notes about the late King Henry, Empress Maud, and King Stephen, Part 2, dated 1st of January 1136. Our new King Stephen is supported by most of our Norman overlords, and even by the Church. His younger brother Henry is Bishop of Winchester and one of the most important priests in all of England. He made Stephen swear an oath to reserve power to the Church, which had little influence on political affairs under King Henry. A good day for the Church and for us. The trouble is that my Lord Earl Robert of Gloucester? I don't know. I don't know how to say that. Is one of the king's bastards. Of course. He wants to see his half-sister Maud on the throne, believing that she would heavily rely on his guidance and advice during her reign. In the name of Empress Maud, he and his allies have formed a rebellion against King Stephen. Not long now, and there will be war.
Now, let us look for the letter.
James spent much time instead of a prior.
That is what you...
It used to be. The handwriting on this tablet is, "Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed." Did Prior James write this?
Let's continue.
Francis, I think I found it.
In the Bible?
Revelations, the Apocalypse of St. John. And they called to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?" The Lamb? What was James afraid of? Was it this letter?
No, the letter is still sealed. Break the seal.
Robert of Gloucester, name the day, and we will be ready to shed blood in the name of Empress Maud. I and my bondsmen will write against Stephen of Blois. We do not start the war, but we shall unleash it. Stephen himself started it, the day he betrayed King Henry's daughter and took her throne. He and those who swore loyalty to him. Bartholomew, Earl of Shiring.
Oh, this is it. You found it.
The Earl of Shiring was about to start a war.
Yes. He's made contact with my own master, Earl Robert of Gloucester.
Who is this King Stephen that has taken the throne?
A nephew of King Henry. Do you ever think of the day our parents died?
Francis, you...
I know. It's just... the church suffered. Philip, you have to show this letter.
The Bishop of Kingsbridge? Why?
Our late King Henry was opposed to Rome's influence in England. King Stephen, on the other hand, swore to preserve the rights and privileges of the church, and we can help him if you tell the bishop to protect Stephen.
You want the bishop to help the new king, King Stephen?
I want a king who supports the church. I want these dark times to end. I want to stop the Earl of Shiring from starting a war. He could set the whole of England on fire. My lord the Earl of Gloucester can never know what I was doing here. You must not tell the truth about how or where you got this letter. Don't tell anyone I...
Do you really think the bishop will help?
Tell him you found the letter by coincidence.
And if he does not believe me, what then?
He will believe you. The question is, will he really try to... I will ride to St. John's and tell your monks you will...
What if the Earl of Shire... What if the bishop tells him?
Philip, calm...
I'm a simple monk. Who am I to talk to a bishop?
And that's the end of Chapter 1. The Pillars of Earth from the Ashes, Chapter 1. Philip, you helped Francis to uncover a conspiracy against the king. You were nominated to become Prior of Kingsbridge. You agreed to meet the bishop. You reported Brother Marcus the thief. You gave Brother Paul a hot stone and soothed his pain. Regimus still holds you in contempt. You found a message in the mill. You've found beech nuts for Milius's garden. Chapter 1 complete. First pillar. So I'm going to mute as you look at the graphics of what's about to happen. Actually, I can save. I can actually wait. Okay, I guess I can't save. Wow, it goes to a whole different setting. Like that's very pretty. Was he gonna talk? I want to hear his voice before I start. Kid's hungry. Yeah, give me a second. Oop. I'm gonna kill Bambi. I mean Bambi. Or not. I'm gonna get you. Right in the head.
Yes.
I just want to hear his voice. Time to gut.
My name is Jack. For a long time, it was the only name I had known. I was born and raised in a cave by my mother. We were used to getting by, but that year the winter had been harsh. I was proud to have killed my first deer that day. And while waiting for Mother to help me cure it, I decided to practice my reading.
The Lord and King of all France, Charles the Great, has spent 7 long years. He has conquered the highlands and the plain. The Lord and King of all France, Charles the Great, has spent 7 long years fighting in Spain. He has conquered the highlands and the plain. Before him, not a single fort remains.
Afternoon was approaching fast, and Mother still hadn't returned. So, if I wanted to cure the meat, I had to do it on my own. Else it would all go to waste.
Alright. That'll do it. Still can't save. Really. Alright. We're gonna go back to the title screen. So this is, we did chapter 1 of book 1. Only one book is available right now. It took almost 2 hours. Actually, no, it took 2 hours to do the first chapter of book 1. So, and usually adventure games, every chapter is about the same in length. So if that goes by that, the first book alone is going to be 14 hours. If you think about that, and then assuming that the second and third books are both going to be 7 episodes at 2 hours each, that's a very long game. The artwork in this game, I'm going to get to the pros and cons quickly. The artwork of this game is fantastic. There's some little inconsistencies because when the further away you are from a character, or the younger the characters are, the smaller they are, the better they look. When you really get up close, the art kind of looks off. But overall, the animation is fantastic. It's very pretty. Even when it's like a dark, kind of gloomy-ish feel, it still looks really good. The animations are up there with some of the best 2D animations I've seen. The voice acting and lately voice acting seems to be going downhill, so by hearing the voice acting in this game and how good it is, it does a really good job of immersing you in the characters. You can kind of tell who's the douchebags, who's the asshats, who's the nice people, the kind people. You can tell, you can feel, you can hear their manners and their character just in their voices. And they do a good job of portraying that along with the artwork. It is a fairly good sense of immersion in the world. The sound effects in the background, you know, when you went into the crypt, there was chains moving and kind of wind howling, and like now we're out, like you see in the background, you're in the outside of the menu, you see the mountains in the background, the clouds, and the wind. It sounds great. Now to the downside. The prologue was alright. The prologue story was interesting. They give you this idea and the character, and you almost get interested. You know, you get involved with these characters, and then that's just the prologue, and then now you're playing as a friar. And there was a lot of bullshit involved in the story, and trying to find the items and talking to the people to get to where you needed to be. And it started to get a little bland. It did eventually pick up near the end of the episode, but there was a big gap in between, you know, the first chapter that was really boring. Maybe it's because of the religious themes for me. I didn't necessarily like that part of the game. I'm not a very religious person, but taking my what I like, my beliefs out of that aspect, I think in the end the chapter delivered, but for the most part the story of at least of Philip is very uninteresting. In chapter 1. It may pick up in the later chapters, but I don't know how the chat and the viewers feel, but I felt that the story is kind of lacking so far. Now, I started the second episode, or the second chapter of book 1, and I'm already interested in this new character. He's also narrating. An older version of himself is narrating his past as you're playing, and that is interesting because of how they started it. They also do quick time events, and they're not terrible. They're like, click at this point, you know, and I've not failed one yet, so I don't know what happens there. I don't know what the cause and effect of the choices are yet, but I've liked most of the choices I've made. I just like, but it seems though it could just be, it's gonna happen this way no matter what. Maybe the only real cons though is that it's slow at the start. It starts off slowly, but if it's as long as a game as I feel it's gonna be, it's almost understandable. But for an adventure game, and an episodic adventure game at that, if someone is going to get into this game and it's that slow, and they can finish that first episode in under 2 hours, which I think it's probably more along the lines of like an hour and 50 minutes, they could refund the game off of that. So, well, what I believe when you're going to do an episodic game, an adventure game, is you want to have this big opening. You want to have, you know, the story explode right at the beginning, and then if you want to slow it down a little bit along to the end, and then, you know, build it back up again, but you want to capture the reader, the viewer, the gamer, the player at the beginning. And I did that, but it was only for 10 minutes. You need like that whole first episode, episode 1, chapter 1. It needs to be bigger, and you need to feel more grand. So going forward, and I hope that when you add more books, that you find a way to bring out the urgency of what is happening, that you make it feel more grand intent of the game itself. And what someone said here is it feels a bit slow at the start. There seems to be potential for intrigue down the line, but the first chapter seemed to be more about setting things up in the future. Exactly. So, I draw, based on book 1 of chapter 1, and give the game at this time a drastic measure 7 out of 10. And that is because the game works. I only had 1 or 2 bugs, and I didn't have to restart the game or do anything. It was literally hit escape, popped up, it worked. So there wasn't many, if any, bugs. So the game works, the game looks good, the game sounds good, and the story isn't awful, it's just slow. The downside is that I did have a couple small bugs that were annoyances, and the story feels slow, and I'm worried that it might not pick up. This will be up as a first impression, and when I'm able to get around to finishing the entire game, and I mean books 1 all the way through 3, and finish every chapter, then I will do a full written review. For now, however, the game will get a drastic measure 7 out of 10 for now. And I do plan on playing some more of this game. It is very interesting. When the first Walking Dead game came out, it was $25, and you got 1 episode, and you waited 3 months before you got the next one, and then 3 months, and then 2 months, and it took almost, I think it was 9 months before every episode was in the first season, and it was so good, people were shocked. They took, the usual point-and-click adventure game and added this strong player choice story element when normally you just did puzzles and you didn't really choose your adventure. So I think the thing that intrigues me greatly about this game is it is taking the point-and-click adventure and the Telltale style adventure, the choose your own adventure style, and combining them together. And I think that is the direction that these games need to be going. And if the story picks up, this game has potential to be a lot higher than a 7 in the end. It can't be any high. It can't be 100 at this point. But it has potential to be one of the best. And it's $30. You saw me play 2 hours here, and that was 1 chapter out of 7, out of 3 total books. So, yeah. And again, if you did the math, if it continues the way most other adventure games go, this game will end up having 42 hours of gameplay. So again, this has been Draul, the founder and co-owner of the Drastic Measure. I hope everyone in the stream that watched tonight had a wonderful time. If any of you would like to speak your mind about what you saw and what you thought of the game, you can do that. It'll pop up in chat. I would love for you guys to and gals to add your opinions before we head off for the night. Tomorrow will be Linnea stream day on the channel. And then I think Boxcat will be doing Friday, maybe. So good. It almost looks real. It doesn't look like anybody's speaking up, so oh, nope, never mind. Crimson says, I really enjoyed it. It was a touch slow, but I'm okay with that for intros. The voicing and ambience was on point. I quite like the art style. Alrighty. Just looking at the amount of content the game is going to have, and able to say that an episode that I found was slow in a mostly story-driven game, and still being able to give it a 7 out of 10, at this point I would definitely say it's worthy of buying. Maybe even paying the extra $3 for the soundtrack would be worth it. The game is listed as violent, so I have a feeling that once it really gets into the other characters, like outside of the prior, outside of the monastery with the priest, that it's going to be very interesting to watch, to play. And I think like you're gonna probably go through Jack, the boy here. You're probably gonna end up going through his early life at certain moments, having flashbacks, and then playing his older self. I'm not really looking forward to playing as Philip anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna find somebody to host. See who's live. In the meantime, again, if you haven't followed, make sure to hit that follow button. If you are feeling giving, you can always donate to the channel, which that goes to helping out myself and the Drastic Measure, or if you sub to GameWisp or to Twitch, you will get access to our game servers, which are provided by our sponsor, Vilayer. We have 7 game servers up now. If you're interested in those servers, there's a channel that I can show you in our that you can. But any sub 1 month, and as long as you're a member of the Discord, you can continue to play on those servers after the first month. There's plenty of ways you can subscribe, and then if you subscribe to Tier 2 on GameWisp, you also get a game key from us as a thank you for each month that you are subbed. Have a absolutely fantastically awesome night, everybody, and see you next time.